Hey, listener name, you've been really into like more efficient digital government services.
Right.
So we're diving into a pretty radical proposal today.
Okay.
What if we just said goodbye to .gov
Wow.
for state government websites?
Interesting.
Like completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's fine.
it is a really big idea
Yeah,
and it would be a big change.
for sure.
And the big idea is basically to create state-specific domains.
Uh-huh.
So things that are instantly recognizable,
Okay.
easier to remember.
Yeah.
Um, and for someone like you who's all about streamlined services,
Right.
I think this could be huge.
Absolutely.
It's kind of one of those things where you're like,
It's so obvious. Why hasn't this happened?
right, yeah, like
Why done before?
why did no one think of this before?
Yeah, right.
Like it seems so obvious.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you need to renew your driver's license.
Exactly.
Right.
Give me an example.
Instead of having to like hunt down whatever agency it is on this like massive .gov website,
Yeah.
you could just go to www.dmv.california.
Right.
Or if you're in Texas,
Exactly.
www.dmv.texas.
It's so much easier.
You know, just like intuitive, user-friendly, it makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I'm already thinking about all the implications.
Dude.
And I think it's even beyond just websites.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because, like,
Yeah.
think about how this will change how we use voice assistants for government services.
Oh, totally.
Because right now, if I want to go to, like, the LA school district website
Right.
and I tell that to Siri,
Yeah.
she's going to give me, like, a bunch of search results.
Yeah. You're going to have to do a lot of digging.
And it's going to be really annoying.
Yeah.
But if I could be like,
Right.
hey, Siri, take me to the www.losangelesschools.california.
That's so much easier.
That's so much better.
I love it.
So it's just,
Yeah, and it highlights how this one small change
Yeah.
to a web address
Yeah.
could have this like ripple effect across the board
totally.
and make information way more accessible for everyone.
Right, and more memorable, too,
Yeah,
which I think is another really important thing.
for sure.
Because
Yeah.
this is not information that people are necessarily accessing
Right.
every single day.
Every day. Yeah.
So they might need to go to the DMV website once a year
Right.
to renew their license.
Yeah, or
Or
whatever
that-
to register a car.
They got to get a fishing license or whatever.
Exactly.
Bump
So I don't
road.
know who's doing that on a regular basis.
But- Right, but having something that's more memorable is going to make such a big difference.
Absolutely.
Because instead of struggling to remember this clunky .gov address
Totally.
that I went to like
Right.
6 months ago or a year ago or whenever, you have this state-specific domain that's just
that you just know.
stuck in your head.
Right. Because it aligns with how people think about their state.
Exactly.
Like, you don't think I need to find the California Department of Parks and Recreation website.
Right. You just think
You're like, Parks, California.
Parks, California. Exactly.
And how do I get there?
That's it.
Yeah.
And this proposal is basically taking that natural thought process
Uh-huh.
and translating it into the digital realm.
Yeah. And speaking of California,
Oh, yeah.
they actually use Golden State as like a case study in the proposal for why this change is so necessary.
Oh.
Turns out California has a little bit of a .gov problem.
I was going to say they probably have a lot of websites
They do.
because it's California,
A lot.
a big state.
Over 500 different .gov domains.
Oh, my God.
Like that are being used by various California entities.
That's wild.
It's just a perfect example of how fragmented the system is.
Wow,
It's
500
place.
different .gov
Yeah.
domains.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's not just the number. It's like
Right.
the lack of consistency.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it's so hard to navigate.
Impossible. And even if you think you know,
Right.
you probably don't.
Probably not.
I want to take a guess
Yeah.
at what the website is for the Sonoma County Waste Management Agency.
Oh, God. Yeah.
This is a good one.
Okay, so knowing how these things usually go,
Mhm.
I doubt it's as easy as www.wastemanagement.sonoma.gov.
You would think.
Right.
You would hope.
You would think, but
But not even close.
no.
You ready for this?
Hit me.
It's zerowastesonoma.gov.
Oh, my God.
Zero.
Waste.
It had to be.
Sonoma.
Like that.
Yeah.
I should have known.
Yeah.
It's never the obvious.
But that's the thing. It should be.
It should be.
Like, this is-
That's the point.
This is where that intuitive design we were talking about
Right.
becomes so essential, so important.
Because when you can't even predict what a simple web address should be,
Yeah.
it just creates so much frustration.
Right.
And honestly, I think it undermines people's trust in government.
Totally.
Because they're just like,
they can't even get the website right.
this is ridiculous.
How can I trust them with anything else?
Right. Like if they can't even get a simple website right.
Right.
How can I trust them with my taxes or my
social security number?
Yeah, my social security number, all this stuff.
Exactly.
It's
a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just Sonoma County.
I'm sure.
The proposal mentions that the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians have 3 different .gov domains.
3?
3.
That's impressive.
I know.
Oh.
It's like they're collecting them. I don't know what's going on.
That's amazing. Like, why do they need 3?
Did you need 3?
You need 1, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, good one.
Maybe 1 backup, just in case.
And I'm sure they all have different information, too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just adding to the confusion.
Like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
And that's what this proposal is trying to fix.
Right.
They're trying to create a more streamlined...
Exactly. And it's not even just a cosmetic makeover.
Right.
This is a fundamental rethinking of how state governments are presenting themselves online.
Totally.
It's about moving away from this, like, fragmented...
Like the Wild West right now.
It is
like,
the free-for-all.
Everyone for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. But this is about embracing a structure that's clear, that's consistent.
Yes.
That actually, like, prioritizes the user experience.
And that's something that has been missing, I think, for a really long time.
For way too long.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that we're finally talking about this.
Me too.
Because it's something that...
It is long overdue.
It really is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
as with any big change...
Of course.
There are going to be some hurdles in bringing this vision to life.
For sure.
So we need to talk about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, how do we get from point A, this jumbled mess of .gov sites, to point B, this sleek new world of .California and .Texas?
Right.
Like, they're not just waving a magic wand, are they?
No, it's going to take a little bit more than that. Okay.
But the proposal does lay out a pretty solid roadmap.
Okay.
So, step 1, state governments gotta take the initiative.
Yeah, gotta want it.
They gotta want it.
Okay.
They need to apply for their own state-specific domain. Through ICANN.
Right.
Which, if you don't know, is the international organization that manages all the internet domain names.
It's like the UN of websites.
It is.
Right.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like applying for prime real estate.
Yes.
But in cyberspace.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you want that .California.
Yeah.
You gotta go through the process.
Does everyone get approved?
I mean...
Or is there like a vetting process?
There's definitely a process. Okay. Like, they're not just going to hand these out.
They can't just give everyone a domain. No, they're going to scrutinize each application.
Okay.
Look at technical capability.
Sure.
Financial stability.
Right. You got to be able to maintain it.
You got to be able to maintain it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's not going to, like, become the Wild West of websites. Right. You know, they got to make sure that you're not...
There are some standards.
You're not going to tarnish the good name of the internet.
Yeah, you're upholding the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
With your website.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like the proposal kind of anticipated that, right?
Oh, yeah.
They know.
They address that.
That's not going to be an automatic yes from ICANN. Right.
This isn't a free pass.
Nope.
This is something you have to work for.
Good.
Yeah.
Because they're taking it seriously. Yeah. So I'm glad that the proposal takes it seriously.
Yeah, me too.
So what happens after ICANN gives the... Okay, so...
It's assuming...
This is where it gets...
It's interesting.
Tell me more.
So the proposal actually suggests that each state establish a new Department of Technology.
I love this idea.
Right?
This is great. This is a great idea.
New thinking.
So basically, a dedicated department to oversee the transition to this new domain system.
Exactly.
And then I'm assuming...
And to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Like long-term, too.
Long-term, yeah.
Like this isn't just a one-and-done kind of thing.
Yeah, this is like, we're in it.
Yeah.
To win it.
This is a commitment.
Yeah.
This is a whole thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's big.
I love this idea of like a Department of Technology.
And think about it.
Yeah.
The symbolism.
Yeah.
You could have www.department.technology.
I love it.
For each state.
For each state. That's amazing.
No more searching on some like generic .gov site trying to figure out who handles tech issues.
Right.
It's right there.
It's clear. It's transparent.
It's transparent.
This is great.
Yeah.
It would make things so much easier.
For everyone. For citizens. For businesses.
For everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah. And honestly, I think if a state is serious about this digital transformation, like really serious.
Yeah.
Having this dedicated department sends a very strong message.
It shows they're committed.
Yeah.
That they're not messing around.
Yeah. This is important to us. Yeah. We're not playing around.
This is the future.
We're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real.
Okay.
A project of this scale, there's going to be some speed bumps.
Oh, yeah, there's always speed bump.
It's not going to be
perfect.
easy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be challenges.
For sure.
So
let's talk about them.
Hit me with the tough questions.
Okay.
What are the potential pitfalls here?
All right, so pitfall number 1.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
It's not free.
Right.
These domain applications, they're not free.
Nothing's free.
Setting up a whole new department.
Right.
Not free.
So we got to think about the budget.
You got to have the budget.
Okay.
You got to get that approved.
Okay, what else?
Okay, and then there's the task of migrating all of these existing websites to this new system.
To the new domain.
Yes.
That's going to be huge.
That is a massive undertaking.
Right.
Like we're talking
potentially website redesign.
Redoing logos.
Updating links.
So many links. Countless links.
And we all know how frustrating a broken link can be.
The worst.
The worst. Especially when you're trying to
when you need information.
Get something important done.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And you're just met with
error 404.
404 page not found.
Like, come on.
You know what I mean?
And it's not just the technical stuff either.
Oh.
We got to think about the humans.
The human factor.
Yeah, the human factor. People are creatures of habit.
They are?
So how do you communicate this change to everyone?
This is going to be key.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that grandma and grandpa aren't still trying to go to the old .gov address 6 months later?
Yeah. How do we get the word out?
Yeah. You need a really clear...
This is going to be like a communications campaign.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because
you need billboards.
Billboards.
TV ads.
Audio ads.
Social media campaigns.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You got to go big or go home.
And we have to make sure that it's consistent throughout this entire transition.
100%.
Because if we're not consistent, then people are going to be like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
what am I doing?
Is this the right website?
Is this a scam?
Right.
Is this legit?
Yeah.
So that's going to be
huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
What about security?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
Because migrating to a whole new domain system, that opens up
a can of worms.
A whole can of worms.
If we're not careful.
Of potential vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm already thinking about all the headlines about data breaches.
Every day.
All the time.
Another data breach.
And I feel
it's only a matter of time.
This is just going to add fuel to the fire.
Right.
If we're not careful.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to.
You can't rush this.
We can't rush this. We have to.
Cybersecurity needs to be
top priority.
Top priority.
From day one.
From day one.
From the very beginning.
Before you even register the domain.
Yeah, before we even start.
You got to be thinking about security.
Yeah. Because if we rush the process. Or we start cutting corners to save money.
To save a little bit of money.
It could be disastrous.
Yeah. Disaster.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Oh, yeah.
With the cost of fixing...
It's going to cost you more in the long run.
So much more.
Way more.
In the long run.
So, so it's not just about the technology. It's about...
It's about the whole...
package.
The planning, the communication.
Yeah.
And then the long-term commitment to maintaining this secure and user-friendly digital infrastructure.
It's about the long game.
Yeah, this is a long game.
Not the short game.
This is not a sprint. This is a marathon.
Exactly.
Right?
I got it.
Okay, so it's about thinking through all the angles.
Yep.
Anticipating the problems.
Yeah.
And having solutions ready to go.
And this is where the Department of Technology comes in.
I was just going to say, it all comes back.
That centralized oversight.
To the Department of Technology.
It would be make or break for this.
Yes.
Having that central hub.
Yeah.
Where everything is managed.
Yeah, it's like mission control.
It is.
For this whole project.
Yeah, exactly. And for making sure that this project actually delivers on its promise.
Yes.
Of a more streamlined and citizen-centric.
Citizen-centric.
Yes.
Digital government.
It's not just about a new web address. It's about changing.
It's about fundamentally changing the way people interact with their state government.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, listener name. Yeah. Let's bring this home.
Okay.
We've talked about the potential benefits. We've talked about the hurdles that we have to overcome.
Yeah.
But what does this all actually mean for you? as someone who cares about this. Right. Someone who's passionate about
like, should you care?
Making digital government work better.
Yeah, what's in it for you?
What's in it for you?
Right.
So imagine waking up one morning and all of those clunky .gov sites are gone, poof, replaced with these streamlined state-specific domains.
Beautiful, easy to use.
Beautiful.
Website. How does that change your digital interactions with your state government?
I mean, it would be so much smoother.
Smoother.
So much easier.
I mean, give me an example.
Okay, so say you need to find information. About state parks in California.
Okay.
What are you more likely to remember?
Okay.
www.parks.california.
Right.
Or some long, ridiculous .gov address.
Yeah, that's buried like 12 layers deep.
Exactly.
In a website.
Yeah.
That I can't even remember the name of.
Right. It's a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer.
It is.
It's so much easier.
So much easier.
But it's not just about individual ease of use.
Right.
This could have much bigger implications.
Oh, for sure.
Like, think about a state like California that's trying to attract new businesses.
Right.
And talent. Having this really strong, unified online presence that's instantly recognizable with .California.
It just makes sense.
Could be huge.
It's huge for their branding, for their like attracting new people
for sure
to the state.
Yeah. It's like they say, you only get one chance.
Oh, yeah.
To make a first impression.
That's right.
And right now, a lot of these state governments, they're not putting their best digital foot forward.
I agree.
This whole .gov thing.
It's not a good look.
It's a mess.
No.
And it's not a good look.
It's not.
You know?
No.
So we need to fix this.
We need to get them a makeover.
We need to get them a digital makeover.
Yes.
And this is how we're going to do it.
This is the proposal.
This is a proposal.
Yeah.
So
this is how we modernize.
It's not just about the technology.
Yes.
It's about modernizing the whole experience.
The whole experience.
Of interacting with your government online.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can have ripple effects.
For sure.
Like, we could see more civic engagement.
Totally.
We could see more investment.
More businesses coming in.
Yeah. Maybe even tourism.
Potentially.
Because people are like,
I
like how they do things online.
Right.
California's got their act together.
Yeah.
Like, let's go there.
They're living in the future.
Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing to think about.
I know.
How this one little change can snowball
It's crazy.
into something much bigger.
It's like the butterfly effect.
It is.
Of digital government.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this.
Totally.
We're not just scratching the surface.
No, we're going deep.
We're going deep.
We're
exploring
the layers.
The second and third order effects of this proposal.
I love it.
And I think that's what makes it so relevant to you.
Absolutely.
Listener name.
Yeah.
Because you're not just interested in quick fixes.
No.
You want to understand the systemic impact of these changes.
Yeah.
Like, how can we reshape the relationship
the whole system
between citizens and their government?
How do we rebuild trust?
And it all starts with a simple .gov.
With a domain name.
Right. It all starts with a domain name.
That's all it takes.
Who would thought? That's all it takes.
Who knew?
To fix
the smallest changes.
Right.
Yeah.
A domain name
can have the biggest impact.
Yeah. So as you continue your own exploration of digital government,
keep asking those questions.
We want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What other aspects of our digital life
good question.
Could benefit from this kind of radical simplification and user-centric approach?
It doesn't have to be just government.
Like, what if we dared to rethink
the
way things have always been done?
Why are we doing things this way?
Right.
Yeah.
Not just with government websites, but with all the digital systems we interact with every day.
That's a great question.
Like, what if our banks,
for healthcare,
our
education,
schools,
everything.
What if they all adopted this kind of like user-first mentality?
User-centric design.
You know, what if it was all about?
It would change everything.
Us.
Yeah, it would.
Right.
For the better.
It would change everything for the better.
I think so. Or at least it's worth exploring.
It's a question worth pondering.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
And on that note, I think we're going to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
But until next time, keep asking those tough questions.
Yes.
And
never stop.
Exploring the world of information.
Keep digging.
That is out there.
So how do we get from point A, a jumbled mess of .gov sites, to point B, this sleek new world of .California and .Texas?
This proposal isn't waving a magic wand, right?
It's a bit more involved than that. But the proposal does lay out a solid roadmap. The first step involves state governments taking the initiative. They need to apply for their own state-specific domains through ICANN, the international organization that manages internet domain names.
So it's like applying for prime real estate, but in cyberspace. Does every state get automatic approval, or is there a vetting process?
There's definitely a process. ICANN would scrutinize each application, looking at technical capabilities, financial stability, and the state's plan for managing this new domain. They need to make sure it won't become the Wild West of websites. Which makes sense. They're upholding standards for the entire internet. But it sounds like the proposal anticipates this, right? It's not just assuming states will get a free pass.
Exactly. The proposal gets into the weeds a bit, suggesting each state establish a new Department of Technology.
I love this idea. A dedicated department to oversee the transition to the new domain system and ensure everything runs smoothly.
And think of the symbolism. You could have www.department.technology for each state. No more searching high and low on a generic .gov site to figure out who handles tech issues.
It would make things so much easier for citizens and businesses alike. And honestly, if a state is serious about this digital transformation, having a dedicated department sends a strong message. But let's be real, a project of this scale will come with its share of speed bumps.
You're absolutely right. We need to talk about the potential challenges, because even the most well-intentioned ideas can hit roadblocks in the real world.
Hit us with the tough questions. What are the potential pitfalls?
Well, for starters, the financial aspect. These domain applications aren't free, and neither is setting up an entirely new department. And then you have the mammoth task of migrating all those existing government websites to this new system.
It's a massive undertaking. We're talking about potential website redesigns, updating countless links, making sure old addresses redirect to the right places, and we all know how frustrating a broken link can be.
Exactly. And let's not forget the human factor. People are creatures of habit. How do you effectively communicate this change to everyone? How do you ensure someone doesn't get stuck trying to access an old .gov address? Clear, consistent communication throughout the transition will be absolutely crucial.
And what about security? Migrating to a new domain system could create vulnerabilities if it's not done carefully. We've all seen those headlines about data breaches.
You've hit on a critical point. Cybersecurity needs to be a top priority from day one. Rushing the process or cutting corners could have disastrous consequences.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about the planning, the communication, and the long-term commitment to maintaining a secure and user-friendly digital infrastructure.
You've got it. It's about thinking through all the angles,
right,
anticipating potential problems, and having solutions ready. And it circles back to something we discussed earlier. The proposal's emphasis on a dedicated Department of Technology. Having that centralized oversight could be crucial for navigating these challenges effectively.
And for ensuring this project delivers on its promise of a more streamlined and citizen-centric digital government. It's about more than just a new web address. It's about fundamentally changing the way people interact with their state government online. So listener name, let's bring it home.
Okay.
We talked about the potential benefits. We talked about the hurdles we got to overcome. But what does this all mean for you? Like you listening right now as someone who cares about this stuff.
Exactly.
Who's passionate about making digital government work better.
What's in it for you?
What's in it for you?
Yeah.
So imagine you wake up one morning and all those .gov sites, they're gone.
Poof.
They're replaced with these streamlined state-specific domains.
Beautiful.
How does that change your digital life?
It'd be so much simpler.
Right.
I mean, so much easier to navigate.
Give me an example.
Okay, so you need to find information about state parks in California.
Okay.
Are you going to remember parks.california?
Yeah.
Or are you going to remember some long .gov address?
That's buried like 12 layers deep in some website.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
So much easier.
And it's not even just about us, though.
Yeah.
This is bigger than just individual ease of use.
Totally. This
has
larger implications.
Huge implications.
Yeah.
Think about a state like California that wants to attract businesses and people.
Yeah, to move there, to work there.
Right, like having this strong online presence.
Yes.
That's instantly recognizable as .California.
It just makes sense.
It makes a statement.
It does. You know what I mean? It shows that they're like with it.
It shows that you're modern.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Forward thinking.
It's like they always say, first impressions matter.
That's right.
And right now, a lot of .gov websites.
Yeah.
Not a good first impression.
Not doing him any favors.
Like, it's a mess, and nobody wants to deal with a mess.
It's 2024.
It's 2024.
We can do better.
We got to get with the program.
Exactly.
So we got to fix this.
This proposal is a good start.
This is the proposal.
Yeah.
It's about more than just the tech.
It's about the experience.
It's about modernizing the entire experience.
The whole thing.
Of interacting with your government online.
Exactly.
And I think when we do that, it can have a ripple effect.
For sure.
Right.
Like you said, it can impact.
We could see more people engaged.
Right, more people voting.
You could see more investment.
More businesses opening.
More people wanting to live there.
People want to live in the future.
Because they're like, California's got their act together.
They're ahead of the game.
Let's go to California.
Exactly.
They're living in the future.
Let's go.
I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how this one little change.
I know, it's crazy.
This one little thing.
How one little thing
can have this huge impact.
Huge ripple effect.
It's like the butterfly effect.
It is.
Of digital government.
Digital butterfly effect.
And I think that's the beauty of a deep dive like this.
I agree.
Like, we're not just scratching the surface.
We're going deep.
We're going deep.
We're getting into the nitty-gritty.
We're looking at the second-order effects.
Yes.
The third-order effects.
All the implications, unpacking it all.
And I think that's what makes it so relevant.
Absolutely.
For you, listener name.
Yeah.
Because you're not interested in just a quick fix.
No. You want
to understand how the system works.
Understand the why.
And how we can make it better for everyone.
Long-term solutions.
How do we reshape the entire relationship between citizens and their government?
It's about trust.
It's about trust.
It's about transparency.
Transparency.
It's about making things easier.
And it all starts with...
What's that?
A domain name.
A domain name.
Who knew?
Who'd have thought?
That something so small could have such a big impact.
It's amazing.
But it can.
It can.
It really can.
Yeah.
So... as you continue your own exploration of digital government,
keep digging.
We want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What other aspects of our digital lives
that's a good question.
Could benefit from this?
Yeah.
Radical simplification?
What if we could rethink?
Like, what if we said enough is enough?
Yes.
We're rethinking.
Let's start over.
The way things have always been done?
Why are we doing it this way?
Not just with government websites. That's right.
With everything.
Banking, healthcare.
Education, schools.
Our phones.
Everything.
What if it was all...
user-centric design.
Designed with us in mind.
Why not?
It would change everything.
It would be amazing.
Right.
I mean, it's a nice thought.
It's a good thought.
It's a good place to start.
And it all starts with asking the question.
The question.
Why?
Why are we doing it this way?
Why are we doing it this way?
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.
But until next time, keep asking those tough questions.
Yes.
Keep exploring the world.
Never stop exploring
information.
There's so much out there. So much to learn.
We'll see you next time.